CCIV stock is not for the faint of heart investors. If you are not having diamond hands with this, you do not need to own CCIV. We were up 5% today and then started selling off without any major bounces, only closing up 3 pennies. So what in the world is going on with CCIV stock? We are going to dive into it in this video and try to come to a conclusion as to what is going on with CCIV stock, as well as do some technical analysis and go over this very bullish article. But before we get into all the information, my name is Tyler. If you guys are new to the channel and you did not know that, do me one quick favor, hit that like button right now for me and make me one like button closer to being able to buy a Lucid Air and feature it on this channel and give you guys my review on this vehicle. So I do appreciate you guys that went ahead and did that. I do greatly appreciate and look forward to going over the Lucid Air with you guys. Just a quick preview and recap for those of you guys that don't know why CCIV stock has been selling off so hard the past week. We do have a tweet from Elon that came out 2 days ago that said Peter Rawlinson was not the chief engineer on the Tesla Model S, and this has since been confirmed that Peter Rawlinson was the chief engineer of the Tesla Model S, and it even says it on Tesla's website. So that is still up for debate as to why Elon says that. I know you guys probably have an idea in your mind like we all do. Elon just doesn't like competition. He's a very competitive person, so nothing against him. I absolutely love him. I think he's the smartest person that ever lived, and that is my opinion about Elon. So I do love him. I love Peter Rawlinson. I love both companies, and that is that. But that is why we have had such a strong downward pressure, as well as the 6 lawsuits that we currently have against Lucid Motors for deceiving and frauding investors. Now, I'm not concerned about this at all, but I wanted to give you guys the background about why CCIV has been selling off so much if you did not already know this. Now, as to what happened today, we didn't get any new news that came from CCIV, and really this $20 mark, which was up about 5% today, or 4.74%, and then we were up 4.64%, our 2 highest points for the day, was $20.08 and then $20.06, and this has served as a major resistance level over the past couple of days. This $20 level is really a psychological resistance level at this point. We could all make the argument that in 10 years from now, Lucid Motors will be you'll be hoping that you bought shares in this in 10 years. That is the argument. That is what I set forth in my mind. That is my investment thesis. And that is why I own so much Lucid Motors relative to my portfolio. As to this article we mentioned in the beginning of the video, it is titled CCIV Can Carve a Profitable EV Niche. It says CCIV stock must first survive the global chip shortage crisis. And basically, just summing this up so we don't read the whole article, it goes on to say how they are basically making everything themselves like Tesla did. They're not spending too much on advertising, and they're really cutting costs in that aspect, as well as targeting the biggest current EV market, which is higher net worth individuals. Most people that get EV vehicles right now statistically are over 45 years old, male, and have a net worth of over $100,000. So they are targeting this exact niche that is buying EV vehicles, and they will have a higher profit margin than a lot of other vehicle manufacturers. And it does go on to say that there is similars and differences compared to Fisker and Solo, but CCIV does look the most prime to take advantage of the current market conditions around the EV vehicle sector. Now, he is obviously very bullish about this, about Lucid Motors, and if you want to take a deeper look and read this whole article like I did, I will link this in the description. But he says, basically to conclude this, he says further, neither Lucid nor its competitors have much hope competing in the average income bracket. Maybe improving lithium-ion battery technology will allow automakers to be profitable in this segment, but it may not happen for a while. Since Fisker has positioned itself in the innovation niche, Lucid's best shot is in the premium market. By focusing on the absolute best in EV machinery, the company can carve out a small but extremely profitable portion of the electric vehicle industry. This is the main reason why I'm bullish on CCIV stock. The underlying company is making the best decision given its circumstances. There still is no guarantee that CCIV stock will be a winner. Naturally, the supply The supply chain crisis remains a huge distraction, but again, if you can stomach the risk, CCIV enjoys a credible business plan. He does go on to say that he has a position in this, and Fisker, and basically all the companies he mentions in this article. But I do recommend you guys check this out, especially if you are long-term investors. He does have some really cool points here, but then again, CCIV is an unproven company. And what I mean by that is I was not very bullish on CCIV until I heard the numbers for their pre-orders, which currently, last we know, as of the date that they announced a merger with CCIV, which was a couple months ago, it was $650 million in pre-orders, or about 9,500 vehicles in pre-order, completely selling out of their $170,000 Dream Air edition. So this is very good. It does show that there is demand for their vehicles, and this is likely to continue going into the future and only increasing as more people begin to realize Lucid Motors is a real company. Most people don't know about Lucid Motors. If you ask the average person, they're not going to know what Lucid Motors is. So once more brand recognition is developed, this will ultimately very much help Lucid Motors as a company. As to the short interest or the short volume ratio in CCIV, it is coming in extremely high for the day, guys. We are at 41% with almost 2 million shares being sold short and a market volume of 4,680,000. Now, this volume for the day is way lower than we have seen and is way lower than our average volume per day, but the shorts are not letting up. This is almost 50% of the total shares that were on the market today were sold short, and I do imagine this was after the 5% pop we seen in the beginning of the day. So our short volume ratio on the day was 41%, and if we do take a look down, like I said, the total volume, or out of millions of shares of the total market volume, was 4,680,000, and this is way lower than we have seen over the past 10 or 11 days or so. And this does lead me to believe a lot of retail investors are getting out of the market right now. That's the saying, after all, is sell in May and go away. That is the saying. So it does look like this is happening, but the shorts are not letting up their position. Relative to the market volume, 41% of shares being sold short is a high number. And this is something you guys are going to want to pay attention to, especially if you are trading this, is to pay attention to the short volume ratio, or the shares shorted per day. And like I said, it comes in at 41.26%, and this is much higher than we have seen over the past 10 or 11 days or so. But take this as with a grain of salt, because the actual volume was way lower today than we have seen in quite a while for CCIV stock, and we have pretty much been in between the $17, $16 lows and about the $22, 23% highs for the past 10 or 11 days. So this is really high, and this will be interesting to see throughout the rest of the week to see if volume picks up and the shorts continue to keep shorting CCIV, which I do think they will. It is easy to short a vehicle that is not making any revenue or delivering any vehicles. It's just simple economics. Why not short a company like that? The same way that they were shorting AMC or GameStop, that is what they do. They short vulnerable companies until good news comes out and either get short squeezed and forced out of their positions, or hopefully the wind blows over, the tide blows over, whatever you want to call it, and they can just get out of their positions when the stock does go down. Now, with that being said, I would pay attention to this going forward, and that is why I make daily update videos about CCIV, because this is something I personally want to pay attention to, and ultimately on this channel, I am tracking my own progression in my investment journey. So love it or hate it, that is what we do on this channel. We track all of this information on a daily basis to one day look back when CCIV has a market cap similar to Tesla, around the $600-700 billion market cap, and while we were all rich and chilling on an island somewhere, we can look back at these videos and take a good laugh. And if you want to be a part of it, make sure to hit that subscribe button for me. Now, let's get into a little bit of the technical analysis and where we currently stand with CCIV. And we are at $19 20 cents per share, and we are strongly in between this $19 support level and our $20 resistance level, like I said in the last video. Now, like I said also in the last video, I do expect some form of news to come out this week or next week that'll either push us down lower under this $19 mark or push us way up past the $20 mark. I'm talking to at least $21 per share, if not about the $23 per share. That is where I see some real resistance coming in, because that is where we started our very bearish pattern, hitting lower lows all the way down starting April 29th, after obviously we had this huge spike up 16% in a single day. We just turned very bearish off of a lot of key factors, especially these lawsuits, Elon's tweets, and everything else does not help the stock. Now, I do expect us to bounce in between this $19 to $20 range for quite a while until we get some news, maybe a delivery date for their vehicles, or Apple, Lucid Motors, rumors resurface. That is what I am expecting for right now, so I don't expect a major movement coming anytime soon, which is good if you're a long-term investor, so you can keep picking up cheap shares in Lucid Motors. And if you're a trader, you're just gonna have to wait a minute until some news or a rumor does come out. I do think this is a great time to average down in your position if you have not already. That is what I'm looking to do in the next upcoming days. I have sold a cash secured put at $20 per share, so that will average me down $3 per share, and that is obviously 100 shares. So I am planning on averaging down in this stock if I do get assigned on this cash secured put that I sold. So that is the update with CCIV. That is the latest that is going on with the stock. Not too much to actually report on, but we are sitting at a very good level as far as the technical analysis, just sitting around waiting for some news to come out with this company. And with that being said, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for me if you have not already. I will see you guys later. Until next time, take care.